guys, it's Helen Hartsmith again from the Heart of the Witch's Path YouTube channel. Welcome back. I hope you're having an awesome day and merry meet, everyone. It's so great to have you tune in and watch my videos. I actually did a check on the channel just to kind of see how things were, looking and things of that nature. And I saw that I'm up to 65 subscribers, and that is amazing. So thanks guys for choosing to subscribe. And if there's any content that you would like to see me specifically talk about, then please drop me a message. You can either message me through YouTube or you can message me via email. There is a Heart of the Witch's Path at yahoo.com email address that I will link down below. And I always try to, so they're always usually there. Or you can post a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Is there something that you want me to talk about? Or if something you want Kathy and I to talk about on the podcast? We're completely open to any suggestions of whatever you want to hear us talk about. I'm coming to you today because I have a small confession to make. And that is, I'm a documentary junkie. Yep, that's right. You heard it. I love me a good documentary. I was a history major in college, and I love history. I love learning new things. Lately, since starting my journey with cruelty-free and going vegetarian, I've been looking into a lot of documentaries about the food industry and foods in general and conservation, things of that nature. And so I've talked about quite a few on blog posts. So yeah, love me some documentaries. And recently I have come across one that I really wanted to tell you guys about, that I thought any Wiccan, witch, pagan, what have you, you would totally be wanting to check this out. The documentary is called, and see, I have a cheat sheet, so I don't forget anything. The documentary is called Wicca, the Occult Experience. And I found it here on YouTube because that's another confession. YouTube junkie right here. So anyhow, I found it on YouTube, and it's only about a 47 minute program. And I think it was done, I don't know, I think the tag or the title said something about 1970, but I looked up the IMDB page, and it seems like there was 1985 that was coming up. I'm not certain, but I'll link the IMDB page and the link to the YouTube channel in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. It's definitely worth the less than hour it takes to get through it. Now, the reason that I wanted to definitely share this is because since the beginning of the year, there's been a lot of things on my mind, like things that I want to concentrate on, things that I want to maybe turn some studies to, things of that nature. I've been a practicing witch for at least 10 years. Like, I'd have to figure it out. I think it's more like 12 to 15. But there's definitely some of what people might consider classics when it comes to Wicca texts that I haven't read. And so since the beginning of the year, I've really been thinking about the elders of our community and looking to them because they are the trailblazers. They're the ones that made it possible for us to be where we're at with our craft and with our paths. And, there were countries that during Gardner's time in Britain, it was still illegal to practice witchcraft. And so in his lifetime in the 1950s, it was that law was repealed. And so there's some real trailblazers that are our elders, our honored elders, and actually some that have passed on. And so the thing that I really liked about this particular documentary was that it highlighted so many of them. I mean, names that every witch probably knows. And so that's hence my cheat sheet here, because I wanted to make sure to not forget anyone, because there's a lot of information and interviewing that takes place in this 47 minutes. So first of all, Margot Adler is in this documentary. And as you probably well know, Margot Adler is the author of a couple of books, but most famously Drawing Down the Moon. And she's depicted in the documentary hosting a ritual in what looked to be a New York City street with lots of people watching. So that was quite interesting. Also, Selena Fox is in this video, and I'm here to tell you guys, if you've ever been around Selena, and luckily I have, and I'll get to see her next month at Convocation, she is such a dynamic speaker. And when she comes on in this documentary, I was hearing Selena's voice, and I was seeing Selena, but a much younger version of Selena. And of course now she's practically gray, like almost all gray. But here's this younger version of Selena with beautiful long dark hair. And it was a joy for me to see her in that light that I didn't know her, because I wasn't, well, if it was in the 80s, I was only 10 to 13, if it was indeed made in 85. And if it was made in the 70s, I was born in 72. Yeah, I just aged myself. So, that was really cool. Alex Sanders is featured in the documentary. And of course, the founder of the Alexandrian tradition, and his wife Maxine. So that was really neat to see them. Janet and Stuart Ferrer are in the documentary, and they actually depict an initiation sequence for a new member of their coven. And so that is really interesting to see the 4 trials that this initiate goes through from earth, air, fire, and water. That was amazing. They also talked about Rosaline Norton, who was an Australian artist who was also a witch, and her artwork got a lot of flack because she was a little progressive for her time. And I had never heard of her prior to this documentary. So that was kind of nice, because I didn't know anything about her. Z Budapest is also featured, and she's the founder of the Dianic tradition, and it was really neat to hear her voice. I studied with the Dianics for a year and a day, and it was a really special time for me for multiple reasons. But Z Budapest is, of course, that very trailblazing feminist for her time. So it was cool to have her in there as well. Another couple of people that I was interested to see in this documentary were Lawrence and Olivia Robertson, and they're a brother and sister from England, and they are the founders of the Fellowship of Isis, which is still going strong, and it's a multi-religious group that centers on the female connection, different goddesses and things of that nature. And they actually, in the documentary, they take a couple of initiates and bring them into the Fellowship of Isis. So that's kind of interesting to see as well. So I hope that you take a moment to check it out. I think it's definitely worth a watch. Like I said, I'll post a link in the description box. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm going to head out now. So until I talk to you next time, thank you for walking the path a little while with me, and blessed be.